Outrun the dog. Run. Go for the tree, Mr. Postman. Go.
It's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Hey folks, this is Monk. We are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo!
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about your pooch. You know what I'm saying? Man's best friend in the film called Man's Best Friend from the year of 1993.
Yeah, there you go.
So this film is directed by John LaFia, and in this film, reporter Lori Tanner, investigating a story about animal cruelty, gains access to a facility where dogs and cats are the subjects of cruel experiments conducted by Dr. Jarret. After seeing the conditions of the lab, Lori flees the building, but a massive escaped dog, Max, follows her. Lori decides to keep Max as a pet, but the seemingly lovable canine is genetically altered dog with unusual abilities and psychotic tendencies that set him on a killing spree. Yeah, man. So this is going to be a wild one, folks.
Yeah.
So this film stars Lance Henriksen. We also
Henriksen.
got, Henriksen. I mean, I like to say Henriksen.
I thought you said Henriksen. I was like, whoa. I thought you were chewing your tongue when you said it, bro. I was like, oh, man.
I'm trying to sound a little more, professional,
I got you.
We also got Ali Sheedy, Robert Costanzo, who's one of my favorites. If you remember, he was in Total Recall telling Arnold Schwarzenegger not to mess with his brain,
Good advice.
Yeah, but let's get into this story, man. What's this film about?
I mean, first and foremost, this is one of those unpolished gems of the 90s. The concept, it demands your attention, and then the final product really ends up entertaining you. It has high entertainment value.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is even though it focuses on a killer dog, this movie takes it places where Cujo couldn't go. The way it strategically places the story in a way and presents it so that they can't be compared. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the fact that it's a killer dog. And, the thing about the story that really works for me is how they push this like Jaws effect throughout where, it revolves around this dog and the nature of the beast. But then when you get to the human element, it's how different people perceive things differently. Like some of us see things for what we want them to be while others see them for what they are. Mm-hmm. And that's where you get the compare contrast between Ali Sheedy's character and Lori and Lance Henriksen in, what's his name? Dr. Jarret.
I think he's still a good boy. It's just the people around him, they've caused him to react like this way. Cause like you said, speaking of Henriksen's character, it's more to him. This is a project. He's trying to sell this thing to the highest bidder, trying to weaponize it. And, whatever. Right. So she's this activist. It kind of has a 28 days later intro, whereas they're trying to do the good thing by freeing these monkeys. She's trying to do the good thing by freeing this dog, but they don't know what they're dealing with.
They bring us into the lab and we see how messed up they're treating these animals. I mean, they go into the cages. One of the monkeys they're working on, his name is Goner. Another, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's crazy.
Foul, right?
That's crazy.
Another one of the monkeys
Just give him a number.
Yeah, another monkey don't have no cranium, dog. His brain is exposed. Yeah. One of the rabbits got no ear. So I mean,
this is nasty, man.
They're showing us that they're doing. I believe it's called vivisectomy or something like that.
Vivisection. But
yeah, it's where
these products that they're selling are not cruelty free.
Right. So so when you get that element, you understand that her heart's in the right place, and they're really painting Max the dog out to be a survivor turned hero, because once she frees him, I mean, the first thing he does is he saves the two young ladies from getting jacked. Pretty much,
he's a victim of abuse. That's why I say he's a good dog. And the thing about it, the crazy part, I love this scene in the beginning is like where Max has a choice to make. Is he going to stay in the lab with Lance's character, or is he going to run around with the reporter? And all of a sudden, you can't see what's going on in his head, but I'd imagine this dog is suddenly thinking about all these cruel experiments, all the tortures he has endured with this guy Versus this woman was nice to me from day one as soon as I seen her. So
that's true.
I'm gonna take my chances with her.
You know, she can only see the good in this dog, which it's kind of hard to falter because of how he presents himself around her. But then, you know, as we dive through the story, you just see things go from bad to worse as, you know, the dog's mental state just completely unravels.
I think he stayed perfectly sane in most of these situations. I'm telling you, we're gonna get into that, man. There's a few, man. We'll get to these characters, but yeah, man, like you said, the dog starts to deteriorate and people die, bro.
And it becomes not just people,
and it becomes a thing where we've got to really it's out of control. It's even out of control for what's her name? It's even out of control for Lori. So really, we've got to at the very least separate this dog from society so it can't really harm people that way. But that might not be an option, or one of the options might just have to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So you know, boils down to that.
When in doubt, take him out.
Yeah, take him out, bro. Okay. You gotta put him down.
Yeah, man. So I mean, shit.
Sit you in the backyard with a shotgun.
That's it.
Yeller.
That's it. You know. But yeah, I mean, as we go through this cast, I mean, like I said, you know, speaking on Lance Henriksen, the Dr. Frankenstein of the story. I mean, all of this doesn't happen without his character arc. You know what I'm saying? And the way that they present him, I like how he is the one that in essence, that we want to hate because of what he's doing and what he did to this dog. Like, we can't see no flaws in the dog.
Well, we don't see what he's done to him. It's all implied. Like this.
It's the final product.
Yeah. I guess that too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then what they do.
But then you also get those points where Lori, when she first meet him, she's like, "Oh my God, all these scars." We can't really see them because of the dog's fur, but she's kind of feeling them around and like so. Definitely implied this dog has been heavily experimented on.
Yes. And he doesn't seem like a good person. Like you see, not only is he harming, you know, the animals, but he doesn't care about human life either, as one of his workers ends up getting mauled in the very
That's
beginning.
That's the first scene, man.
Hides the body. And then, so when the cops are like, so what's up with this other doctor that was working the night shift? He's like, I ain't really know too well. She's only been here a couple months, but what's up with my dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, he does not care about human life or animal life or anybody.
It's wild, man, because like you said, man, like I love the fact that like it does start in the lab. So we get all that going down. And this film is very streamlined. It's about an hour and a half. So a lot of the exposition doesn't come in the form of them telling us. It's just kind of implied the way it's laid out. And that gets rid of a lot of stuff if you're making a film streamlined like this, you know, so that's cool. But he is the quintessential guy. It's not like part of it. He says he wants this dog could be real dangerous out there. But I think the main thing is this is my experiment and it's out here. I'm trying to cover my ass, cover the company's ass. Yeah. We don't want this exposed what we've been doing. And also we don't want this thing that we put probably millions of dollars of research into to go to waste too. So it's a twofold. But none of those reasons are to protect the public.
Yeah, no. And you find out that he's motivated by personal intentions as well, because it's not that he didn't get like a government loan or a stipend or something. He came out of pocket because you find out because you speak in past tense in this film, and they find out that he did become a multimillionaire, super duper scientist in his early 20s. But then, you know, they found out that his practices were inhumane. So they 86'd him. So all the money he made, he invested into this project. So it's all for personal gain.
So he's doing black research.
Yes. And that's why he's out there, you know, that's why he's like leading with his chest, because he's like, yo, this is my investment.
I just had a thought, man. I wonder if films like this, because this is a trope too, man. The evil scientists, bro. Ever since we were a kid, they had evil scientists in G.I. Joe. Transformers had evil scientists. Frankenstein. And I wonder if this story is somehow subconsciously affecting people's attitude towards science and science at sometimes. Absolutely. You know, like I feel, you know, I'm pro science, but there's a lot of anti-intellectualism and anti-science going on in today's society. So I wonder
what's in that bunch.
I wonder if these things kind of contribute to that notion over time. You
Absolutely.
Know? But let's get to Ali Sheedy's character, man. Yeah. She's like I said, man, we spoke earlier, the investigative reporter that's trying to come up in her career. So I don't know. I really don't get the idea that she's that big of an activist because they even speak on it before when the security scene comes up and the cops are in on it. And he's like, yeah, we've got a bunch of these animal people that are on our record that we have. The animal rights people that have been doing break-ins and stuff, and the scientist is like, nah, it's not any of these. They give them the whole perp thing to look at, try to ID her. So I think her shit is just purely career motivational, and by seeing the plight of the dog, she kind of gets attached to it a little bit.
Which is understandable. I mean, because like I said, the dog is the size of a bear, and he's lovable. I mean, when he comes,
he's a teddy bear.
He's humongous, and he comes and gives her a hug and everything. Yeah. So I mean, you can't knock her for having a good heart. This is one of those instances where kind of having too good of a heart could get you late. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you push that love. But she's doing everything with the best of intentions, and the fact that she's risking it all to protect this dog, not knowing what he's capable of doing, that just shows the kind of person that she is. But it's wild because,
but then again too, I don't blame her to some degree because she's never there when he goes crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's just all of her. It's
dude,
just
she don't even believe her boyfriend. And shout out to Frederick Lean, who plays boyfriend Perry, who just gets the short end of the stick on all aspects. He comes home from work. This humongous dog is in his house, and then when he wants to try and make love to his wife, he wants to bite his junk off. I mean, it's just like then he ends up getting acid peed on his face.
Guy, bro.
Poor Perry. I mean,
he was just trying to get some the whole time. Like
he's like, look, is the dog around? All right, come on, let's make it happen. We can't knock him for that. But
it gets wild, bro, because the dog that's where the fun of this comes in. Like this story is so basic, but they're squeezing what they can out of this budget and stuff. And I think honestly, it's really limited by the budget. But the dog chewing the brake cables is crazy because it's beyond. This dog is beyond just physically enhanced. It seems to be now intellectually enhanced. Yes. Like there's a scene where they're talking and the dog's outside of the door. You're like, yo, this dog understanding their conversation? Like, it's, bro, that's crazy.
When Lance Henriksen is breaking down to the cops, he's like, you don't understand. This dog can understand 350 commands. And he was like, bro, wonder if he can speak Spanish. He said he speaks 6 languages, bro. What? Man. It's like you pick your language, pick your phrase. He fully understands. So, I mean, the intellect of this dog is just only enhances all of the other attributes he already has. Yeah, because it makes him that much more dangerous.
Yeah, he's weird, man. There's this physical attributes. He's stronger. He's faster. I like the scene where he's chasing the cat up the tree. His claws come out, and he's just like.
And then my man dislocates his jaw like a
snake.
python.
Like, I can't. Did they ever explain that? Was there a scene that showed the kind of because it's genetic?
Yes. When the cops come into the lab, when he's like, "Look, you really don't understand what you're dealing with." He's like, he's got the claws and the climbing ability of a jaguar, and he the jaw of a snake, the strength of a bear, and he can put on his predator cloak like a chameleon.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean, camouflage. Yeah,
like, man. Bro, like this dog is an X-Men.
Dog is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? What is really going on?
Shout out to the dog Max in this film. I love how he gets a credit in the film's opening.
He does.
Like Max, And the dog, like this is honestly, man, watching there's been a bunch of performances like over the years with these kind of films, memorable dog, and I think he has one of the best ones, man. It's just like he's really good in this, man. I mean, I think dogs like Turner and Hooch and Canine, they get a lot more shine, but because those movies were more intimate of a relationship with the dog and those main characters, but this dog is killing it, yo. Like there's times where he's acting sweet, he's hanging out with people and kids and stuff, but then he goes savage mode, and it's crazy.
And he's dangerous. I mean, and like you said, shout out Max. He is a Tibetan Mastiff, and I don't know much about the canine language, but I know if the name has Mastiff in it, it translates
bigger
to
dogs.
big as shit.
Bigger, stronger.
It's big. And then also Frank Walker, who is the voice of Megatron and Soundwave in Gen 1 Transformers, also did the voice acting for the dog. To give him more personality. Like with the growling and all that stuff. Give him a little extra personality.
I don't know if you needed a professional voice actor for that.
I wouldn't think so either, but there are times when it really enhances the personality. And like watching this, man, Max is a full-on dude, yo. Like he loves the ladies. He gets excited when he sees her naked. Man, he gets jealous when she's doing things with another dude. I mean, he's a full-on dude, yo. And then
my God.
he's a menace on the block. Like when he struts through the block like he run it, and that's it's so funny to me because, like he's just out there. He's picking victims, man. Whether it's the cat, the mailman, the dog next door. He even gets up on the dog next door, the neighbor's dog. It's like, come on, man. He takes what he wants. Don't ask no questions.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I wonder how he would have acted though with a different trainer, because there's that scene where the garage guy says he's going to adopt him. but you really
the
immediately
junkyard
realize,
man.
the junkyard, that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I wonder, what if someone nice adopted him, like a really nice trainer that really had time for him? How would he turn out? Like, cause
he'd have pulled the flim flam on them too.
Yeah, you know what it was? I think, because when he was wandering, that's when it got a little crazy, man. It's almost like that. Remember that Garfield special where he goes back to the hood?
Yeah,
and it gets real.
Yeah.
I think this is the life that Max was living out in the streets, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
absolutely. And the thing is too is Dr. Jarret, he was like, when he crosses paths with Lori, he's like, yo, you broke your bond with him the same way I did. So now his number one objective is to take you out. So he's the one who takes that that loyalty to heart, literally, and he'll try to eat yours out if you break it. But
I wonder if massive sales went up or adoptions went up when this came out. I think this had the opposite effect. They're like, I ain't getting one of them.
Nah, you get a chihuahua. You know what I'm saying? They get you one of them ankle biters, not a neck biter.
Yeah. So, but there's some cool stuff I think that happens in this, man. Like just with like the stuff they're doing with him, like when there's the brake cable scene, but then there's a scene where when he goes to the mechanic. And they're like, yo, I need this. I
need the brake cable.
3/5 wrench or whatever the cable. And he passes him the cable.
Yeah.
But that's the same cable that he ripped earlier.
So he gave it to the mechanic that ripped it out later.
What if he gripped it a little hard and left some more holes in that joint?
Shout out the cinematography and the effects, because that's the element of this film that really brings Max's abilities to life. Like, with the camera angles and then they do this POV shot. And that's like I said, like when you do the POV angles in films like this, it really just gives you that sense of like through the eyes of the terror, you know what I'm saying? And you see him stalking his prey and running through the streets and stuff. And that's cool, really, really cool. And then, you get these puppets and the animatronics and stuff to, where they're using the real dog in certain scenes and then flip-flopping and making it seem like the dog's just doing this extravagant stuff like climbing the tree, or, when he gets the postman. That's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Mr. Postman. Shout out to Friday, man. Pops and Friday.
Yes, man.
I feel like he watched this movie like every week. The way he was going on. Said, that's all right.
So, that stuff, I mean, it really just... kind of brings this movie to the next level with that camera work and with the effects, because at no point do we ever get the feeling like this dog is not real. You know what I'm saying? He feels real, except for when the film went from being out in theaters to getting a physical media release. They put the picture, the cover art is very misleading. They have Max looking like a whole-on Terminator. Yeah. Like his name is Max 3000.
That is one thing, though. I wonder, man, if that was the original idea. Like sometimes the concept art is done way earlier, and I wonder if they just had to scale back because of budgeting. Like that would have been crazy to see Max at one point with like part of his mechanical skeleton coming out.
This is the original cover art. That's a regular dog.
Yeah.
With a bloody dog print. And then they got him looking like a cyborg.
Yeah. You know it came from somewhere. It
they
could have been
once they transitioned from theatrical artwork to home video. That's when
that's when they made the change.
That's when they made the switch.
That's weird though, because
Cyberdog.
Because we knew this movie wasn't, like it already had been released. So but see, this is going to sell. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I wonder, man, like how that would have been if we got like a scene where Max is eventually broken down, they're fighting him, and then you got cyborg parts coming out. That'll look crazy.
He gets that
dude.
Terminator red eye.
It'll look crazy, but
fucking burn his eyebrows off. I bet he'll look crazy as shit.
Yeah, we'll never know, man. but even the gun they give Lance on this poster is Terminator, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
the red dot, like that's the thing that's the pistol the Terminator had.
That's true.
It's crazy, man. They were riding that hard.
30-watt range.
But the crazy thing about it, dude, like I put my letterbox thing up on this. I made some comments on it, and I was like, this was the kind of film that made Blockbuster $1 billion company, dude, back then. And this film, I wish we got those numbers. This thing probably killed some much better and better put together films at that time in rentals and sales like that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a film that. I don't know what it did in the theater.
In the theaters, it did $6 million. I'm sorry, the budget was $6 million, and it pulled back $12.9 million.
Yeah, but I bet a lot of people have seen this film. Like most people know what I'm talking about when I mention Man's Best Friend. It's one of those things. It might not have done that great theatrically, but on the home video, this thing was platinum.
And yet again, this is another one of those New Line Cinema movies that they keep finding ways to double down. Like, yes, Freddy is their Bread Baker, but then when you look at some of their lesser known films, but that have high name value, Critters, this, I mean, there's a lot of films that as long as they're doubling up, you know, you ain't losing.
You ain't losing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't losing. So then that gives them the opportunity and the energy to keep pushing these kind of films.
Did they
out.
ever sequelize this one?
Nah.
Okay.
But they end it like they could have a sequel because he gets the neighbor's dog and she's a collie, and so like four of the dogs look like little lassies, but then one look like
one mean looking like
he's like, yeah, that's right, I can dislocate my jaw too. Eat these other puppies like they
it's
rabbits.
Crazy though. But yeah, man, like I don't know, man. This thing it's a good time for me generally, man. You know what I'm saying? The music's good enough. It adds to the suspense. And I like even the music that's playing in the beginning with the montage. Like the history of dogs and man.
Yes, and I love how it goes. It goes from innocence to aggression because it's like, oh, do, and it's showing the dogs being all friendly. Next thing you know, there's attack mode.
You got the dogs on the frontier with the explorers, and then all of a sudden you got dogs in pits fighting each other.
And then you got like the one dude and the dogs biting his arm. He's like, ah, you know. They even threw a crazy looking dog with the crazy eyeball because there's one point where Max gets burnt by the blowtorch. So they throw that in there. What's his name? Joel Goldsmith did the score.
Okay.
Yeah, and it really controls the tempo, you know, where you get like the curious aspects when the dog's out there on his searches, and then when he completely beasts out, you know, you get that heavy hitting stuff, man. Yeah, it was a great thing.
Yeah, I'm curious about John LaFia's career. So he's got a couple things under his
name. So he was the writer on Child's Play, and then he wrote, and then he directed Child's Play 2, and then he wrote and directed this. So saying that to say this, like with the way this one was directed, and if you've seen Child's Play 2, you can see some similarities, and then like within the story arc of Child's Play, I mean, you can tell that he's kind of carrying that energy. You know what I'm saying? And he knew his niche, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to films in this likeness, when you got something smaller in stature that's terrorizing, you know, human beings. But sad to say, he ended up taking his own life in 2020.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so we don't get no more.
Yeah, he also did some episodes of the Freddy's Nightmares TV series, Babylon 5, the Dead Zone TV series. So he's got a career, man, out here for TV movies too. He did Rats, Chameleon 3, Dark Angel. I don't know what that is about, but you know, he was definitely seemed like a working guy, you know.
Yeah. In
this era, man. But rest in peace.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, all in all, man, I think Man's Best Friend is a fun trip, man. It's one of those ones like it's, I don't think it's high art or anything, but this is like Saturday afternoon entertainment. You put it on after you eat your lunch. You know, and this is actually a good party movie too, I would say. Like if you got a group of people sitting around, you just want to have some laughs, kind of, you could even, pick at this thing a little bit, man, because it is a little goofy at times. You know, it's not the most, it's not the most serious film.
No, it's
man,
not.
You know?
And it's one of those movies where it could create like uncomfortable banter where, you know, you see certain people laughing at certain stuff that others might not.
I'm laughing, bro.
Why are you laughing at that? Well, how's that funny?
This is funny.
Stuff like that. But this is definitely high entertainment value, and it has great pacing, and the way the story is just systematic. Like it leaves no stones unturned. You don't have no questions at the end. You're fully engaged and aware of what's going on around you. And I mean, it's fun. It's fun to see how they created this killer dog concept in such a unique way, and was able to kind of just push the high energy without it being scary. You know what I'm saying? It's not scary. It's just like makes you think like, damn, you know, next time you cross paths with somebody's dog that ain't on a leash, it's like, man, get on the other side of the sidewalk. You might got genetic enhancements. But yeah, it was a great time. I really enjoyed my rewatches this week, man.
Yeah, I had a good time too, man. But gonna be out of here, man. We can't give y'all too much of a good time now.
That's it, nah.
You know, gonna be no reason to come back next time.
You see what I'm saying?
So, we're gonna be back with another episode soon, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about us, turn on the notifications so you know when we drop new stuff. And we're gonna be back. You catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram. Follow the show at Classics of Cinematics on Instagram, also on TikTok. Just look up Classics of Cinematics. So be back.
And this Bobby Blockbuster. As always, you can catch me on the next show.
Yeah. All right, folks. We out of here.